Poker2Nite is brought to you by UB.net. Raise, stack, own. Welcome back to Poker2Nite. Scott Huff alongside Joe Sebok, and joining us right now via Skype is Poker News owner and high-stakes player Tony G. Tony, we know it's very late where you are. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I'm just glad to be here.
Well, let's get right to it. The biggest story in poker right now is this Isildur character. Now, last week you offered to stake him in live events. However, there has been some talk that you've been backing him all along online this year. Any truth to that at all?
I'm unable to confirm that rumor. We were in discussions with him previously, so anything's possible, but I can't confirm it. I'm not in a position to confirm.
All right, Tony. Well, last year, of course, you wrote in your blog that he was Victor Bloom. Then you kind of backed off a little bit from that. Of course, recently we've heard from, British player Luke Schwartz that it is Victor Bloom. So you, obviously, in your position, seem better than anyone, maybe, to be in a spot where you could confirm that it was or it wasn't him. So once and for all, is it Victor Bloom?
Let's just go back to the first part. Well, first, I guessed it was him. I didn't know who it was, so I just made a guess. And, that was a guess. Once I found out who it is, then I couldn't talk about it anymore because I promised that to that person. But so initially I was guessing, and then I knew the truth. And we've made a pact with the gentleman that we're not going to disclose his identification. So we're going to keep to that.
I would ask, how good of a guesser have you been about other things in the past?
Me?
Yeah, how good of a guesser are you, percentage-wise? Like, how often do you guess things right, and how often do you guess them wrong?
Oh, I mean, in blackjack, I can be pretty good.
Can you confirm that he is under 21? Is that something that we could get out of you?
Yeah, I can confirm that. I'll confirm he's under 21, and he's from Sweden. So.
Okay. Well, with that said, at least, we know that he is under 21 and that he is in Sweden. Would you personally be willing to bring him over and stake him in the big game at the Bellagio once he turns 21?
You know what? The big game at the Bellagio, I think I've played there on a few occasions. I've never found much value there. I don't find much value playing him, but I would face him. I mean, I've made an offer for him and to play in a big game in London with him wearing a mask. So that, his identity doesn't have to come out. I think that he could start playing live, but I think he'd have to wear a mask. And I think, it would be good to get him a good mask and have him playing these live games too, so people can see him live.
Wow, so masked man is no longer a metaphor. It's an actual thing here. Well, Tony, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll find out whether or not you're a good guesser. Thanks for being here.
Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Bye.
All right, now let's go to Dana Workman as she breaks down the latest internet buzz and answers your reader mailbag questions on P2N Online. Dana?
Thanks, boys. I'm going to let you in on what's trending hot online in poker for the week. Our favorite poker player who's dropped her top for Playboy, Jennifer Genocide Lee, revealed in her first ever video blog that she's making a comeback to the poker world. While she seemed a little bit nervous, I'm sure the guys watching the YouTube video didn't mind, as they were probably focused on something else.
Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Lee. Some of you might know me as Genocide, which is my online moniker when I play tournaments and video games. I'm a professional poker player.
If memory serves correctly, Genocide was one of the best online players back in the day, so let's hope she makes a huge comeback soon. Okay, moving on. Lots of chatter this week on a behind-the-scenes interview Jeff Mattson did while in studio last week about 9/11.
Al-Qaeda was the CIA. Al-Qaeda just means database, so when they database all these different terrorists, they just lumped them into a computer program called Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda wasn't a group it's not one group, it's actually a computer database of terrorists. And they just blame it on Al-Qaeda, but it's just a general term.
Now, this sparked a flurry of comments on wickedchopspoker.com. Agent 00 said Al-Qaeda is a database? Facepalm. Kosh said, I do believe in keeping an open mind, but not so open that my brain falls out. But maybe commenter Gav has it right when he wrote, isn't this a poker news site? Take this expletive somewhere else. Finally, let's get to your reader mailbag. This week, we went to Lake Tahoe to get answers from pros at the Jimmy V Foundation charity event. First up from Adam Christopher via Facebook. Ace King has been my most deadly hand lately. If there's a raise and a re-raise in front of me, should that be an instant fold because of possibility of pocket kings or pocket aces? And if I'm the first one to raise and get called by one or two people and don't hit, should I try to steal the pot with a continuation bet if I'm first to act?
That's a very good question. However, it's very situational. I mean, there are situations where if there's a raise and a re-raise and you have ace king, you're supposed to shove all your chips in a tournament where the blinds are high and perhaps you might not have the biggest stack. But if you're playing, you know, a lot of big blinds deep and there's a raise and a re-raise and you have ace king and you have no reason to get in there, you know, is it okay to fold? Sure. For the most part, I don't mind a continuation bet on the flop because chances are people didn't connect because no one ever connects. You never hit your two cards, so just bet and you'll win and have a successful career in poker.
And finally, from Frank Harlan via Twitter, do you see WSOP events ever taking place online or at least circuit events?
I just don't think it's a good idea to bring the World Series of Poker to online. It ruins the tradition and history of the tournament. I think it's great how it is now. I don't even like it that they've expanded it to Europe. I think it makes it harder for everyone to play, so I like it now.
Thanks, guys. And as always, submit your reader mailbag questions to Poker2Nite.com, our Facebook fan page, or at Twitter.com/Poker2Nite. Stay tuned for Prahlad Freeman when we continue on Poker2Nite.
Poker's biggest tournament, the World Series main event, is just around the corner, and UB.net wants to send 5 of our Poker2Nite viewers there to compete for a shot at poker immortality. To get in on the action, simply go to UB.net and sign up for a new account with the Poker2Nite referral code. You'll then receive an entry to one of our satellite tournaments for a chance to play in the main event final qualifier on June 6th. Finish in the top 5 of the final qualifier and you'll be on your way to Vegas with UB.net picking up the tab. While there, you'll get access to all the UB.net parties and a personal training session with either Phil Hellmuth or Annie Duke. So head over to Poker2Nite.com now for all the details, and hopefully I'll be seeing you at the main event this summer.